Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Australasia. Welcome to this morning's Lead, Laugh, Love podcast, inspiring leaders to lead with love and laughter along the way. Uh, I don't know why I feel like it feels like forever since the last call, but it hasn't been. It's been a month. My name is Sinead Pollock, and most of you do know me. If you're new to the call this morning, I'm the general manager of Manatech Australasia, a role I'm very proud to hold. It's a bit of a crazy job, as you know, as many of you know. I say that because many of you are the crazies, and I say that with a lot of love in my heart, and they know that. Um, very, very special guest this morning. Very special guest. First time coming to us down under. We've done these calls with a lot of the legends of our industry, but this is Maria's first journey into sharing with us down here. Many of you will have seen her at Manifest, and as I was saying in the earlier chat, she shared the stage with our very own Bella Yu on a panel, and we loved it. And I loved Maria. Actually loved the connection between you four girls backstage. It was wonderful to see. Now, who's Maria? Well, Maria is Venezuelan. She's a Venezuelan entrepreneur with 17 years of residence in the US. And she's very prominent in the world of network marketing with over a decade of experience. She began her career in direct sales sector, quickly reaching high levels within her previous company. Amongst her notable achievements, she successfully led the launch of international markets, including Spain, where she built a strong reputation as an innovative and strategic leader. In 2024, she was honored with the Global Business Builder of the Year. So if you were at Manifest, you saw Maria achieve that. And we always say success leaves clues, right? Success leaves clues. Um, she is a very successful, leading a very successful team in the Latam market, and she is developing the first ever presidential director in the Dominican Republic. Maria's personal mission is to empower people to live without limits. I love that. I absolutely love that. Fostering personal and professional development through strong value-driven leadership. Sought after motivational speaker, she has impacted a community of over 500 Latinos, leading with passion, commitment, and a vision in an increasingly competitive environment. Absolutely. She is the host of her own podcast, so this is probably water off a duck's back for you. And she dives into all things MLM beyond and beyond, sharing insights, strategies, and authentic stories. What I will add is I met Maria. I went and said hi to Maria at Manifest. I stopped her in the lobby and said hi. I follow Maria on social media. A lot of the times it's in Spanish. Don't always know what you're saying. I have un poquito. But it's the energy that draws you in. That energy, that passion, that fire. So Maria, good morning and welcome. Lovely to have you.
Good morning. I am super excited to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I really have to cut down that bio. That is a long bio, and it kind of gets boring talking about me. So, thank you so much for having me.
So when we do these calls, we always start with everybody with the very first question. Why? Like start at the beginning. Why Manatech? Because I believe it all starts with your why. But for you, why Manatech, Maria?
I am Venezuelan and I've been living here in the USA for 18 years. And even though I was having success in my previous company, I found myself not having a vehicle that would help me create an international footprint.
Mhm.
So, right off the bat, that was the thing that brought me over and really gave me the opportunity to dream of creating an international team. So, the global footprint of Manatech with 46 markets was something that really caught my attention. And I would say for me it's personal because I am an immigrant. But with social media, everybody has connections everywhere. And why would you not monetize that?
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think, I think back to, we've had some of the pioneers on the call when they would have started, it would have been phone calls and faxes and in person, filling out of forms, leaning in heavy because it might have been in triplicate. And it would have been, but they did it. And I think we have so many tools right now. We are connected globally. I think a lot of us came back from Manifest feeling very connected because it's
Mm,
been a while since we'd had a Manifest and we were excited to be there. But having spoken to lots of people, just not the Australians, but the other markets, people felt very connected, and I think it was amazing. So I love how you look at that. So
Yes.
when we look at what you do, and I'm always about what's your day to day? What motivates you? What keeps you going? Because the alarm goes off in the morning. It's easy
Hmm.
to hit snooze, right? And
Yes.
I'll get to it tomorrow and we'll do it later. Yeah. So what are your daily habits? What keeps you focused? What keeps you productive?
So I think the first thing is vision.
Hmm.
So the Bible says that without vision, the people perish. So I think it's the why, but it's also the vision. What's the vision that you're building, that you are really creating with Manatech or with whatever you're doing?
Hmm.
If you visualize yourself as someone that has abs, you know you have to go to the gym. You know you have to be careful what you're eating. So the first thing is my vision. And I will say when I was kind of prepping for this, I like to kind of know where the conversation might go. I was going to talk about my large vision. I really lose sleep when I think about the families in Latin America that are earning $200, $300 with us. For us in the USA, $200, $300, well, it's okay, it's good. I mean, everybody loves money, but there are families over there that their lives change with $200, $300. That is part of my vision. But even more so, and the first thing that got me started in the industry was the opportunity to be home with my kids.
Yeah.
And I have a 14 and a 12-year-old. I homeschool
Yeah.
both of them. So we're home every day, all day. And I don't take for granted that yesterday they both went into my bed and I stayed in bed with them a little bit longer. I know most people cannot afford that. So when you really have a vision of the life that you want to create and then you start seeing those glimpses of that life, um, motivation kind of sticks,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
I love
Then,
that. Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna, I love it. I love it. Like, because you don't see staying in bed with your kids as a luxury. People see a luxury as a new car or a designer handbag. That is wonderful. It's beautiful.
It and it is a luxury. The cars are gonna pass.
Yeah.
My kids are gonna go away. The time that I have with them, I don't take it for granted at all. So it's those little things. And then, of course, there come systems and habits, daily habits that keep me doing what it makes this business go around. And I always tell my team there's only two things that we get paid for: new customers or new associates. If you are not bringing new people to the team, then you don't have a growing business. So I'm very focused on helping my team and myself always bring people to the funnel. I use an equation that I call it the success equation, and it's conversations plus connection equals transactions. So if you guys are here and want to write it down, write it down. Connections plus conversations equal transactions. So when I plan my days, I am very intentional on how am I going to create conversations? How am I going to create connections, especially on social media? So that's kind of like some of the things that I do on a daily basis. And then I have reminders. I use technology. My phone reminds me every so often, hey, who are you showing up for? How many people have you talked to? You know, which team leader have you reached out to? So I know that's a broad answer and we can go more detail if you would like to.
No, I think it covers a lot because I think to do this business, I think you have to be disciplined. And you've got to be
Absolutely.
disciplined with yourself. And you've got to have that accountability with you. And sometimes like, you have an upline and you have downline and you can sit down and say, okay, Maria, these are the 5 new people you brought in as associates last week. What is your plans for these? Right. And it's allowing that to accept the help and then, allowing your downline to go off and do it in their way and how they're comfortable. You teach them systems, but you want them to be authentic. So I think it's incredible. And I think the technology piece, some people, I, if I read a book, I'm old school. I like a book. I can't
Hmm.
listen to it.
Me too.
I can't do a Kindle. Like it's not
Uh-uh.
me. And listening to it, I'd have to listen to the same chapter 5 times for it to sink in. But that's my brain. But I'm a big believer you use the tools that will make life easier for you so you can work smarter, not harder. And I love that.
Mhm.
But I want to go back to what you said about making that difference because most people, $200 to $300, there used to be a statistic in Australia that's for the lack of $200 or $300 a month, people went bankrupt. And as you said,
Yeah.
you don't often see that that's a lot of money, but it's huge if you don't have it.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
It is absolutely huge if you don't. And to me, that point was very profound because most people will come in and that extra $200 or $300 makes a huge difference to the average person in every market.
Hmm.
So I think, whether it's getting their products paid for so they can continue to have good health,
Right.
or whether it's helps them get out of debt. But I think having that as your motivation and your inspiration, I think, is incredible. And I'm sure listening to you will be in many other markets. Um, just quickly with your daily habits, how often
Mhm.
are you connecting with team and how often, like, do you do set calls? We'll talk to Karen, one of our big leaders here, and she does certain team calls and they do calls where people can bring their guests to, and there's a rhythm and a system. Is that how you work as well, or?
Yes, so we have a team calendar, which is
Yep.
very, very important. And that calendar or agenda is shared in all the chats, whether it is Facebook, Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever people use.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that we use and is huge is the power hour.
Mm-hmm.
So the concept of 60 minutes a day,
Mm-hmm.
working in 3 or 4 kind of like areas that
Mm-hmm.
takes your business forward. What are those areas? Connecting with new people.
Mm-hmm.
Second area is following up because the fortune is in the follow up.
Mm-hmm.
The third area is the marketing, the videos, the pictures, whatever you do to bring people in. And
Mm-hmm.
then the fourth area is always going to be training or learning or self development. Because we work in an industry that is all about self discipline, you
Mm-hmm.
need to be investing in people every single day. If they don't change here,
Yeah.
they cannot change their wallets. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do power hour with our team, and
Yeah.
we go through those 4 segments every single Tuesday, every single Thursday. So people know exactly how to do it then in their daily life or their, method of operation, daily method of operation. They need to know, okay, how much time do I spend making a post? How much time do I spend connecting with people? How much time do I spend following up or how do I follow up? So that's part of our team DNA, to put it somehow.
I love that because I think, everybody has their own system, but it's having that system, having
Hmm.
something that you can share with your group and say, this is how we're going to do it. Because
Correct.
people come in as their own independent business owners and they
Yes.
all want to put their own stamp on it, which is wonderful. But if you can give some people some sort of structure, I think it really helps them take the pressure off and give them a plan to follow. It reminds me of that old saying, when your intentions are clear, the mechanisms appear. And it's clear that your intentions are very clear. Um, when you look back of when you started with Manatech first, anything you wish you'd known, or like what are the like what because we all learn, right? We learn lessons, right? There are things that happen and you go, bugger.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it sticks with you. So what were the lessons that you learned the hard way, do you reckon?
Oh, wow. That question could go so many different ways.
Yeah.
To be honest, I jump on the business. I did not understand the product well enough.
Hmm.
And if I would have understand the product well enough at the beginning, I would have done better selling the product, for example,
Yeah.
to be totally transparent. Um, I think that that would be my biggest thing. I also believe that in business, you always need to create some sort of an introspection system
Hmm.
or an evaluation system. What was working 3 months ago, it might not be working right now.
Hmm.
And I think there have been some moments throughout the journey that I was not quick enough to reevaluate and pivot.
Yeah.
So those will be two possible ways that I think we could have done way better, faster.
And I think that re-evaluating and pivot is hard because to do that, you've got to turn the mirror on yourself, right? Because that it starts and ends with you. So, you someone said to me it's working, and I said, well, the proof's in the pudding, right? It, what what
Correct.
what are what are the results that it's bearing? But sometimes it's hard to look in the mirror and say, it lies with me. Are you good with that? Is that something you can, or like the rest of us, you kind of go, oh,
Well, no, I would actually say that if you ask my team, I'm extremely transparent.
yeah.
And if we don't achieve a goal, the guilty part is me.
Mhm.
So I'll give you a for instance. So in March, we had set up a pretty significant goal as a team, and we missed it for 8,000 points.
Yeah.
And when you have organizations that are making 80,000 points, 8,000 points is nothing, right? Like it's right there.
Yeah.
And I remember after the month is over, we meet up as a group and people are like, we're sorry, we didn't do enough. And I said, guys, that's not how it works. I
Mm.
didn't do enough. If I was running for that, I should have not accounted for whoever said was going to do 20K to do the 20K. I
Mhm.
should have said, you know what, I need to plan for 100K to get to 80 or 200 if I want to get to 160. So I don't think I have a hard time with that.
Mhm.
And the reason for that is I want my team to see me as a human being. You know, Manatech is creating associates. I am creating friends. If I can create friends out of the people that I do business with, I'm gonna have success no matter what.
Yeah. It's
So
interesting that you talk about, you wished you'd learned more about the products because I can tell you historically, Manatech associates know more about the products than they need to.
I agree.
If you're on this call, you know who I'm talking to. Put your hand up if you know I'm talking to you. Um, but we love the product. We absolutely adore the product. We see the results of the product. And somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, I don't know enough about GRT." And I said, "You know more about Ambertoes than I do.
Yeah.
What are you worrying about?" Yeah, Diana, probably me. See, I knew this would take the chat off because we've loved the product. We love Dr. Nugent. We've
Oh
been
yeah.
to every presentation we've ever seen because a lot of us came in because of the product
Yeah.
and saw the results and then saw the business. But you obviously came in with the business mind
Mhm.
first and foremost. So it's great when they align because it's great to be able to, and I think you probably consider that, am I talking about a good product? Because you won't want to put your name to something you don't
Oh,
believe in. Absolutely.
absolutely. But it was like, as you said, most of these people understand glycans better than life. And I'm like, wow. So that's something that maybe if I would have had a little bit more knowledge, I would have done more like
Yeah,
personal sales or other areas. But I agree with you. I think we sell, we honestly sell dreams, we sell hope, we
yeah,
sell communities.
we
So
do.
it's more than Amber Dose.
And we do it really well. Yeah, I'm laughing because everybody's, yeah, they're talking to me. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And for a lot of people, they've been here for such a long time that it's just natural information that's garnered along the way. And I know that if I ever have a question, I know who I can have on speed dial to ask. Dr. Nugent's not around. Um,
There's you.
when you bring on a new associate, Maria, is there a
Mhm.
process? What advice do you give them? What do you do there? So I've signed up with you today. You got me excited. I've bought my first order. It's about to
Mhm.
arrive. What's the plan?
So it's funny that you asked because I have it right here. So we have a playbook, a launch playbook, and
Mhm.
we send them not on paper, we send them a file. And I tell them, take a look at it. Start. The first few pages are more about their goals, how much money they want to make, why did they decided to start. So we start very early on to create emotional equity. That's
Mhm.
so important. If you know people's heart,
Mhm.
you can tap into it every time that is needed.
Mhm.
Okay, so once they do that, we schedule a Zoom and then we go through the very practical things. So I make sure they have their associate number handy. They know what customer service phone number is. They know which videos to send. And then we really challenge them to go into action rather quick,
Mhm.
um, contacting 10, 20, 30 people on their phones and adding them to a chat with me,
Mhm.
or adding them to one of our communities. So they can be exposed to the opportunity or the product.
I love it. And I think when there's a system, and when you say add them to a chat with you,
Mhm.
we've done some conversations around like three-way calls. You're adding that other voice. You're showing
Yes,
that support, and it's more than just the person you're talking to. It's that bigger picture. And it's on the job training for an associate, because if there's a question they can't answer, and they learn from how you answer it. I think,
correct.
again, success leaves clues, everyone.
Yes.
There's a couple of
Plus,
common denominators here. Yeah.
plus you want to be fast.
Yeah.
There's this big lie in the industry.
Hmm.
Slow and steady wins the race. That is not true. That is
Okay.
not true.
Yeah.
You know, the hardest effort or
Yeah.
force that an airplane needs is when it's taking off.
Yeah.
When the airplane is flying, staying put. But to take off, you need to give it all.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you guys like a ninja tip. Okay.
Okay. I'm writing this down.
So if you guys have an iPhone, you probably have a voice memo, right?
Yeah.
There you can, okay, my phone kind of went crazy. There you can create voice memos. Let me take this off.
Yeah.
So you can create different voice memos. You cannot see it because the light, but
Yeah.
basically, you have different voice messages that you have created.
Hmm.
I would create one for Amber Toast. I would create one for a new prospect. And then I have them here. And as soon as, let's say, Diana adds me to a chat,
Hmm.
I can send that one because I already have it created. I already said, like, oh my gosh, how are you doing? Thank you so much, Diana, for adding me to this chat. I'm super excited to connect with your friend. I know she, or I know he, you can, mark it,
Yeah.
are excited about the opportunity. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. Or you can just have your story. And then, you create a short one, depending if it's a female or male or who
Mhm.
introduced you. But you have a quick answer, a quick first 2, 3 messages for
Yeah.
every single conversation. Same thing with Amber Toast. You know what's a problem and it's a time waster? Every time that someone asks you about Amber Toast, you have to go and look for the video. You have to find, oh my gosh, let me see which testimony do I send?
Mm.
No, have it ready. Amber Toast introduction voice memo. And then you have a file or a note with the video from Dr. Nugent if that's what you want to send. So that way you're systematizing your answers too. And instead of doing 3, 4, 10 calls a day, you can have 100 chats a day. So,
I love that, because I what I like about voice clips is people hear your voice, they hear the authenticity, they hear a real person. And I think, have you ever gotten into a text message ping pong with someone, back and forth, and you're reading tone and intonation that's not there. Oh, are they annoyed at me? What did they say? But you can hear something with their voice. If anybody's out there and you get voice clips from me, it's usually because I'm walking, and I'm the person that you see in the memes that's walking and texting and hits the pole, right? So I do the voice clip. Um just for that reason, but I feel it adds that it strengthens the connection you're trying to make.
yes,
That's what I feel about it. And again, it's there's a million tools out there. You don't have to use them all, but if it makes your life easier, it's very quick to send a message. Though somebody in head office sent me a text and I'm going, what is he saying to me? And Siri didn't like his Texas drawl, so it didn't translate well. But a voice clip, which is just your voice and they're hearing it, is absolutely fantastic. I love that. Um, I didn't pre-plan this question, but I want to talk about it because you said it earlier about bringing in new people. As your business grows, our good friend, Platinum Presidential JP Coster, always says you do more when you know less. When you come in and you're excited and you're that launch, because you're excited and you just go and you don't know all the answers, but you do it anyway. Um, as your business gets bigger and your team gets bigger and you're working with your gold executives and you're working with your silver executives and you've got a bigger team, does it become a challenge to find time for your own personal recruitment? Because you're trying to do so much, right? How do you manage that?
Absolutely. Well, full transparency, guys. I'm actually at a point where I just told some of my leaders we're taking a look at what we're doing, what we're keeping, what we're letting go in order to go to the next level. Because it does happen, right?
Yeah.
And while I want to be an available leader for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
there is a very the danger of babysitting, it's imminent.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that they want you to walk every step with them, and it's like, hey, I can help you until you start walking, but once you start walking, you just gotta go, right? So it is hard. I think there's also seasons.
Yeah.
There are moments where you personally feel I'm on fire. I want to bring a lot of people. Sometimes you see in your organization it's time to really um, strengthen some legs, and
Mm-hmm.
there's wisdom in that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to be the thermostat of our business. And I'm
Yeah.
going to explain this. Most people tend to be a thermometer.
Yeah.
So you take temperature. The thermostat establishes the temperature. As a leader, we have to be the thermostat. If I want my team to be on fire, I gotta be on fire. And sometimes that's bringing more people, which is obviously the solution for every single problem you have in your business.
Yeah.
But sometimes is, you know what? I need to be more in the chats. I need to be reading more so I can send quotes. I need to be taking a step forward with this leader who is going through this problem. So
Mhm.
you keep the temperature of your team and help them go through whatever seasons they're going.
I love that because it is again that whole reevaluate and pivot, right?
Mhm,
What's
exactly.
working, what's not, because you can bring 5,000 people into your organization this month. Are they here next month? Because
Yes.
retention is important. Getting people started on the product, getting people having great experiences on the product, and we all know we ain't a one and done. It's not like take two Tylenol and your headache goes away. It is very much a lifestyle change. But I
Yep.
think it's very much you want that. And some of you will have heard me say this. I'd rather you bring in less people every month and hold on to them than bringing them in and they're leaving straight away because that makes your life harder.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like the we'll call it the adrenaline rush of the end of the month, right?
You're right. Like, yes,
But it's good to know that people are loving the product or they're loving their business journey and they're going to be here next month and they're going to be they're here the month after. And that is a huge thing. Absolutely, Avalon, it does. If somebody comes in, takes the product for a month, it did nothing, they go, oh, well, it didn't work. Well, maybe we haven't set them up for success, or maybe they weren't open to giving a long time. But I think there's a very clear process with you. If it ain't working, look in the mirror, figure out what I need to do, and you've got to be the most excited person in your team.
always. And I will say this, and this is a side note. It's okay. So we all need a day to cry,
Yeah,
to stay in bed. That's okay. Find a safe space to do that. You complain up, never complain down.
yeah,
Never tell your team, oh, this is going wrong. And we all go through seasons of
yeah.
hardship. Go up or find a therapist or a friend. It doesn't matter. But down, be careful to not intoxicate your team with your own issues.
I love that. And I always say, if you don't know where to go, you come and talk to Andrew or I. We're happy to hear you happy, sad, cry, angry, whatever it is. Andrew's a very good punching bag, not me. I say that because he's not here this morning. Okay, so we always ask people on this call. There's a couple of questions we ask everybody. Um, who inspires you?
Oh, there's so many people that inspire me.
Yeah,
Um, my mom inspires me. She's a woman that can do it all. She seems to have it all together. She's always working, always serving. She has a hospitality heart. Um, my husband inspires me. He's a man of his word, of integrity. The Lord inspires me. I live um, to please Him, to praise Him. So that actually takes away the pressure of, you know, people being impressed by me or
Mm.
finding the praise of any of you, because I'm just living looking up and not to the sides.
And we talked a little bit about why. If you were to put your why down to one thing, you talked about your kids earlier, like is this something you'd love to see them do, build that legacy with you, or where do where did that come into it?
Um, Not necessarily. I
Yeah,
want my two girls to, hopefully by seeing me and their dad, just live out whoever the Lord calls them to be.
yeah,
I think we have believed this lie that if you don't work 9 to 5 for 40
mhm,
years with the same company, with the pension, then you're screwed up. Or
yeah,
if your kids don't go to school every day for 8 hours and they do AP classes and they're the best, they're not going to be successful. And I think the rebellious in me um, goes against that.
yeah,
I We were all called to different things for different reasons,
yeah.
and we should go into whatever the Lord call us to be.
Yeah. And I think it's showing them that anything is possible. That's really what anything
Yeah.
is possible if we can all do anything. I remember saying on a tour we did many years ago with Don Partridge, "Oh, I don't think I could do this." And he said, "No, no, you could. You've just
Mhm.
chosen not to." And
Yes.
it is very much, I'm not sure you want me as your brain surgeon, everybody, but if I had taken that decision, who knows, right? Who knows? But I think
Exactly.
it's knowing that if you decide that you can make anything happen. And Diandra, you're predicting my next question, but you've expanded on it because my question is always, what's one book recommendation? Diandra's presidential director in New Zealand. He's being greedy. He wants five. Uh,
Okay.
so let's talk because personal development, I think books are a great way. I love giving
Yes.
books as a gift. I love receiving books as a gift, I have to say. What let's talk about your personal favorite. Is there a personal favorite that you recommend to everybody?
It's gonna be a cliche, but I have it right here. I mean, my Bible is my go-to.
Yep.
Every single day it's there.
Hmm.
So if I could only pick one book because I'm gonna be, in a
Yeah.
remote location, it will be my Bible for sure.
Perfect.
If I can give you more books, then we can
Yes.
go.
So a new
Um,
associate wanting to get going, and they say, what should I read?
Sarah Robbins, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. I
Hmm.
think that's what it's called. Yeah. The
Hmm.
Sarah Robbins, that is, everybody should read it.
Yep.
Um, Eric Worre as well,
Mm.
his book, which I don't remember the name right now.
GoPro.
GoPro, thank you. Fantastic. Every network marketing should read that book. This book, The MLM Guru,
Hmm.
it's incredible. It's so short. Um, a whole lot of incredible principles here.
What's the author's name? I'm trying to see. Armand.
Oh, Armand Pujol. He's now the CEO of another network marketing
Mhm.
company, but his story is just unbelievable. Um, Go for No,
Yep.
excellent book. So good. Um, The Go Getter, another one that is amazing.
Yeah.
I could go on and on. I am definitely a reader. Yes.
There's quite a few readers on this too, and it's interesting because again, it's a question we've asked everybody, and what we found is because Ray Robbins talked about Who Moved My Cheese, and people go.
Yes.
So what I find is people go, I have that or I've read that, but it's been 5 years ago, 10 years ago. People are pulling out books that they've read previously and
Yes.
starting again. I'm a big fan of Start With Why by Simon Sinek.
Oh, excellent. Yes, that one
I,
is really good.
yeah.
Another book
Yeah.
that it might not be as mentioned, but it's incredible is Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Caroline Leaf. Um, Fantastic. It's all about neuroplasticity and how to really change your brain in order to achieve your dreams.
I love it. So I'm just checking the chat.
Yeah, I see some questions.
Yes, we will. We will. So we got the top five books. Um, how did you expand your business to a global network? Was it through social media?
Absolutely. Social media, it's my main platform, the main medium in which I meet people. I would
Hmm.
also say, being an immigrant myself,
Yes.
that helps because I have a network of people that are in different places. But honestly, it's all about social media, right? If you are into crafting, I don't know, scrapbooking, I don't know what people that craft do. I don't craft. My kids crochet.
Yeah.
There are groups of people who crochet on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
all around the world,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Go
Yeah.
there, make connections there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to a question that they asked a while ago when I talked about the equation of success.
Yeah.
I talked about connection, conversation equals transaction.
Yeah.
So if Karen and I are part of the same group,
Mm-hmm.
crochet, readers, it doesn't matter, and I connect with her. How do I connect with her? Liking her posts, going and friending her. I see her stories and I send her heart. And then I start a conversation. And the conversation could be like, oh my gosh, Karen, I wanted to send you a message. I saw the hat that you posted on the crochet group. That is so beautiful. Can
Mm-hmm.
you tell me where did you buy the thread? Was it an online store?
Mm-hmm.
That is a conversation. She's gonna answer you.
Yeah.
You have a common factor, which is the crochet.
Yeah.
You were genuine and transparent and complimented her,
Yeah.
and then you ask a question. Well, when are you going to tell her about Amber Toast? Amber Toast is going to change her life and it can heal her. I'm like, no, 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 no. I am not talking about Manatech at all. I'm talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
As I go on, she will ask me at some point, oh my gosh, Maria, I see that you just came back from the Dominican Republic. Was that fun?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell her, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I cannot believe that I get to travel the world for work.
Yeah.
What do you do for work? Then I tell her.
Yeah.
So the problem is people go to social media with a mindset that is not the same mindset that we go when we go to a cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a coffee shop and the person next to you has beautiful shoes, I will tell her, I'll be like, oh my gosh, where did you get these shoes? They're beautiful. And then the person will tell me, I went to this store. You connect.
Mm-hmm.
The problem in social media is that we get like creepy and we're like, just be a normal human, like just be normal, connect.
Yeah.
And there are moments where you can also be very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I get thousands of followers. I have over 40,000 followers on
Wow.
Facebook right now, and I don't have it here. I didn't bring it because I have it in my downstairs office. I just decided that I was going to connect with a ton of people that I have never connected with.
Yeah.
And I just messaged them. I said, hey, Lupita, I just realized that you've been following me for a long time and we have never connected. Tell me, what brought you to my Facebook?
Absolutely.
And usually, a ninja tip, I give them two options. So they identify what they want.
Yeah.
I tell them, tell me what brought you to my Facebook. Is it the amazing products that I share or the way that I make money with them?
Mm-hmm.
If they tell me the products, they're probably going to be a customer.
Mm-hmm.
If they tell me the way that you make money, they have interest in earning
Yeah.
income.
Yeah.
So they go to different lists, and I know how to continue connecting and talking to them to
Yeah.
hopefully get to the transaction.
It's interesting because if we go back to the beginning of this call and you talked about conversations and connections equal transactions, it's using that mindset on social media. And I love, we do get creepy, because there's an anonymity online that makes people not consider what they write. You know what I mean? Like they don't, you could, as you said, you wouldn't do that in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
You start the conversations, you don't go in waving a Manatech banner and hit them over the head with it. You're making those connections, and maybe you make a new best friend and it never impacts your business and you're better for your new best friend, or maybe it's both, or just
Yeah.
so. I love that. I'm gonna deviate a little bit, and I know we're gonna run out of time, but I'm gonna ask in-person events, Maria. How do you invite people to in-person events? What do you do to create excitement and make people want to show up for you? Or
Oh, that's a great question. I think when you think about creating movements or communities or
Mhm.
campaigns, everything becomes easier. And I'll give you guys an example. When we joined, I said I did not understand the product. I really did not understand the product.
Mm-hmm.
They told me about glycans, they told me about sugar, and we kind of name Ambertoast Sexy Sugar. So we started Sexy Sugar brunches.
Mm-hmm.
They were everything with pink, we had appetizers, and it was very aesthetic. So
Mm-hmm.
when I would invite people, and I usually work with women, I don't do males, not for any reason, but it's easier for me to relate with females.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I was like, hey friends, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be in Miami. I'm gonna do an in-person event. I'm launching my new business, and
Mm-hmm.
we're doing a sexy sugar brunch. If you wanna come, have some wine, have some appetizers, talk the things that every female is talking about, hormonal issues, the husbands, the kids. I would love to have you.
Yeah.
And depending on the level of connection, I was even more transparent. And I said, you know what? Of course, I'm going to talk about my business. I'm launching it. And if I don't talk about it, I cannot pay for the champagne and deduct it from the taxes. And they were like, whatever. And I'm like, it's for real. I have to
Yeah.
talk about it so I can pay for these and it can be a business expense.
Yep.
And people were like, okay, great, I'll go. Again, we make it too complicated.
Yeah.
Just make it real. And another ninja tip, sometimes I tell people, come so you can criticize me. People love, they love criticizing you. They're like, yes. I'm like, yeah, come, tell me exactly what I did wrong. And
Yeah.
in reality, I want them to criticize me
Yeah.
because
Make it better.
exactly, I'm taking that feedback and I'm like, okay, let's
Yeah.
change this, let's change that. Um, so that's one of the things. We also sometimes do giveaways. We
Yeah.
also qualify our invites. You
Okay.
don't want to have a big event just to have a big event.
Yeah.
Qualify your lead. Is
Yeah.
that a quality lead? Is that someone that really has the potential to join your business
Yeah.
or to buy Amber Toast or whatever product you decide to promote?
Yes.
If they don't have that potential, this is not for them.
Yeah. Are you listening? I
I don't
love
know if
that.
it helps.
No, no, I love it. I love it. I love it because I think you're right. We overcomplicate it. And I think sometimes we just, but I think transparency is important.
Yeah,
I know that there's those of us out there that have been invited to events before and it's not never what we've expected and it leaves a bit of a sour taste. So I think that
correct.
transparency, maybe you don't have 10 guests, maybe you have five because you've got transparent, but I guarantee you your results are going to be better for it. So I think that's really important. Okay, we're going to wrap up because we're almost on time. Um, we always want to leave with some closing words. Maria, you have an audience of people here that are some have been with us 27, 28 years. We've got some people who've joined us this year. One piece of advice you would give to an associate, regardless of how long they've been here, what's one thing you think everybody should know or should consider when they're doing this? Big question, sorry.
No, but
No
yeah,
pressure.
there's so much that could be said, but again, if the vision is clear,
Yeah,
then you're gonna find the strength, you're gonna find the way, you're gonna find the desire, the discipline. I
yeah,
think reconnecting, and it sounds cliche, but reconnecting with your why,
yeah,
reconnecting with the vision. What is it that you want to create out of this? And it has to be bigger than yourself.
yeah,
Um, it has to be, it really has to be bigger than, well, I just need $200. Why do you need the $200? Well, because my kid wants to be a ballerina. And if I don't have the $200, I cannot pay for the ballet classes. Well,
yeah.
and what would happen if your kid doesn't pay, no, doesn't go to the ballet classes? Well, she will be frustrated or she will think that she doesn't deserve to try new things so you got to go a little deeper and then hold on to that and you're going to be able to move forward.
I love that. I love that because I always think knowing your why is such an important thing. So that's an incredible and absolutely getting deep into it. Love it, love it. Maria, it's been such a joy. It's been such a pleasure. Uh, I hope we didn't disappoint you on your first call. It's been such an incredible morning with you, and I'm hopeful that we can do this again. And if you're Maria's friends in Australia, you've got an amazing friend here. We're just thankful for her time this morning, and having met her in person, the live show's even better.
Oh, thank you. No, it was my pleasure. Hopefully, I can go visit you guys soon. I really appreciate the invite and the opportunity to share with you guys.
And for everybody else in Australasia, Australia, New Zealand, thank you for joining us this morning. It's been a joy to do this. This is a little bit of a labor of love. I get so much out of it myself personally, and we will see you all. I should know when our next call is. I think it's we've been doing Luminovation skincare classes with our master classes with the wonderful Bella Yu. I think that's what's up next. So have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.